There we go. I'm not sure why I turned off my mic, but I know I did it for a reason earlier and don't remember why. Anyhow. And what's funny is I've got YouTube up on this screen and I can hear... I didn't mute that one. Okay, so hello, we've got... I've already said hello to a couple people, but you guys didn't know. So hi guys, I am Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. I just posted over in a couple of places to let folks know that we were going live. And although most of you guys, if you've been here before, you know I go live every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, even with the friggin' time change. So we have got, let me look in the chat. Okay, I can look in this chat. We've got Gloria Wolf. We have Miss Maureen Pryor, who says, "Can you hear her, Gloria?" And then Dawn says, hello, I'm awake today, and then lets me know, no sound. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it when you guys let me know what's going on. Also, if the music is too loud, let me know. If I am too loud, let me know, because I cannot try to make adjustments if I don't know. Okay, so then we have Miss Jennifer Cox. Welcome, welcome. And then there's a note about the next class, which is actually going to be next Sunday. And we have... Just scrolling down, Miss Cordelia Alderman is in the house. Welcome, Cordelia. And then we have Louise McCulloch from Scotland. Welcome. What time is it there? I mean, right now it is 5:34 Eastern Time here in Central Florida. It is a bit warm. I did go and vote today, so if you didn't vote, yeah, it's too late now. You're not going to be able to go vote now. But where are you? What time is it there? Oh, Cordelia says meow to Todd. He laughed. Yeah, he's working on some bike stuff over here. You can see that. So he's working on his bike. I think he's changing out the tire, I think. He's changing out the spokes. That's what he's doing. I forgot. He does so much stuff on the bike, I don't remember. But it's kind of neat. I'm able to just kind of turn the camera a little bit, and it goes right back to where I wanted. And it's not my phone. I have my phone over here. So that is super awesome, because you guys know I've been using my phone as a face cam. Okay, so Louise says it is 10:30 p.m. PM where she is in Scotland. Oh my goodness. And Jennifer is from North Texas. So welcome, ladies. So happy to have you here. That is absolutely wonderful. What's your shirt say, Todd? So yeah, he's wearing... Yeah, this one was a 2016. We did a 5K run back then. Yeah, I haven't done a 5K run in a long time. Anyhow, so what I've got out right now, because I'm not... There! Now you can see me! Oh my goodness, I didn't realize I didn't have that one on, and that could be part of the reason that the camera looked a little bit weird, so... Can't do it. This camera is pretty cool. It's got what they call a camera hub, which is a piece of software that's on my computer over here, and I'm able to make adjustments on the fly. So that is really cool. I do think that the exposure is a little high. That's a little better. They do need the shutter speed a little bit higher. And it's great. I'm able to make the changes, and that way it looks good for you guys, and that's what counts, right? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch down to my desktop here. And I've got out a couple of things. I might do some watercoloring. I haven't 100% decided. And it does look that now that I put that light on, now this one doesn't look quite right. And I also figured out a way to do those adjustments without switching the screen around. I have learned a few things in the last week, and most of this is because I was doing that Extra Life. I'm going to call it a marathon because I don't do 5.5 hours usually, but because the Extra Life marathon that we did on Saturday. So I was wanting to try to make things go as smooth as possible, knowing it was going to be an incredibly long day. So let me go ahead and adjust the brightness and everything on here. Exposure is correct. That's good. My gain is too high. So that looks better. Now you can actually see, even though this is still in plastic. So that looks good. And I think that'll work. The color's not quite right. Hello, Miss Kim. I also turn the thing back on, so then when you guys pop into the chat and say something for the first time, it tells me. I don't think you guys are hearing it. I'll check the video later for that, or you can tell me in the chat. But, oh, Kim has to quietly lurk. Okay, so anyway, I can hear it when you pop in. That way I don't miss you when you pop in, because I love to say hello. So what I'm going to do is I've decided I'm going to go ahead and get one of my design team projects out of the way with you guys and play with these new Spellbinders card kit of the month. Now, I did go over all of this in a in my unboxing video, and you should, I believe there's a link down below if everything came over like it's supposed to, but you should be able to see that and see all the things in all of the club kits for this month. The only one that I didn't get was the large die of the month, but I've already played with a few things. Only things I have left from the club kits are, from the clubs for this month are the card kit of the month and the amazing paper Grace, which is going to be awesome. Hello, Miss Donna. And if you didn't catch my video yesterday, I did a really quick, probably like 2-minute, if that much. I haven't checked to see the time on it, but I did a real quick little video yesterday announcing the winner for my class that's on Wednesday, and that would be Miss Donna Nipper. So congratulations, Donna. She's already gotten all of her information and she is registered for the class. So this is going to be just as a reminder, the class is on Sunday at 3 p.m. On Saturday this week, we have the Card Maker Success Summit Demo Day. And if you type into the chat !CMSS, which stands for Card Maker Success Summit, it'll bring up the information so you can get your free ticket to the demo day. And then my class, which is not a free class, is going to be on Sunday. It was initially scheduled for Saturday, but because of demo day, I didn't want to take away from any of that. I still wanted to have a class because I had promised you guys. So the class is going to be on Sunday, and that's for the live session. If you're not able to make the live session, not a problem. You can always order the recorded session that you will have available for 9 months. I'm sorry, for 90 days. Yes, that's good. Okay, now I can go on to something else. I am not good at doing those blurbs and stuff, you know? So in this kit, we've got our pretty pattern papers, and we've got a die set, and we've got a stamp set, and it's all kind of geared towards going on vacation. Not beachy vacations. That's what I usually think of when I think of vacation. I think of, let's go to the beach. Some beach. Any beach. La Gomera. He says yes. We went there. That's where we got engaged, and we loved it. He started talking then about moving there one day. Anyway, we want to go to the beach. This one is camping, and I've done some camping too. So the stamp set has got this cute little camper. I've also got another die from a couple months ago that is a big camper, which is cool. We've got a cute little tent. We've got all these cool sentiments about wandering in the wilderness and journeys and all that kind of stuff. What time? 3 p.m. Eastern time. So that's what time the class is for the live session. And I've kind of ironed out a couple of things, Dawn. I think it was Dawn. Or was it Bethany? I don't know. I was talking to somebody about some issues that I was having with trying to get it to work. It was Bethany. We camp at the beach. Now that's a great idea. Except Florida doesn't let you do that. At least not around here. They won't let you stay out overnight on the beach, which I wish. I remember when I was a kid going down to a river. I was in Alabama. We didn't have beaches up in Montgomery. We had rivers and creeks and those sort of things. And I went camping with one of my friends and her family, and they did all the camping right out on the beach of a creek or lake or whatever, and it was cool. Gloria says, hi, ladies. Okay, so we've got all these fun little sentiments here. These are some puffy stickers, and then we've got our thickers and some chipboard pieces, and of course the stamp and die set, and tons of ephemera, as well as all the things to kind of put it all together. There is I did put it away. There was also a sequin set. I believe it was the blue. And I just put it away. But the reason I'm not sure is because I also put away another one, which was a yellow. I think this month was the blue. And what's funny is it's the same as August. And if it was the yellow, which I think was last month, it's the same as like April. So they're kind of doing the same one over again, which is awesome. Okay, Stream Element says, please be sure to like, comment, and share. So yeah, I love it when you guys do that. It also lets YouTube know that you like my content, so that you'll be more people that like the same kind of thing will come to me. And anyway, it's all a thing. And then we've got all of our pattern papers along with that gold that I love. Okay. And yes, I'm talking this much because I'm tired. Again, as usual. I went ahead and cut out a bunch of panels so I'd have those ready to go. And then, of course, we've got our card bases and envelopes here. And I'm again, as usual, I have really got very little plan. I decided to do the club kits as I'm working through my list to see what I need to do, because guess what I didn't get done yesterday? I did not get done my planning video that I was going to do for the week. Instead, what did I do yesterday? Oh, I had a hop yesterday, and then I did that other video, and I try not to do two on the same day, because that just makes things more confusing for you guys, and you won't know what to go to look at, and that kind of thing. Louise says that's a great kit, lots in it. And that's the thing, this is the kind of thing that shows up in the Spellbinders kits every single month. So there's always a ton of stuff. There's usually a stamp and a die set. There's always at least one thing of ephemera, and you always get the chipboard and some stickers and lots of paper, and always 10 card bases and envelopes, and the adhesives. I mean, I don't know how many of these little rolls of adhesive I've got. I started just kind of arranging things in one of my drawers, and that may not be all of them. So, put some things off to the side. One thing, if you were with me on Saturday, you know I was having some issues with my Spellbinders, my Platinum 6, the handle. I've emailed them, but so far they haven't contacted me back, but I know it usually takes a couple of days. But the handle doesn't work right, so I'm probably still going to use it, because I like this little die set. Here's the thing. This little die here, this one. I mean, this is great for decor, but this is the one that I like the best. If you can see that, it basically just cuts out that little frame, which means you could have it as an accent to kind of focus your attention on your card to your focal images, whatever's in there. You could have your sentiment in there and that sort of thing. Or you could actually use this to create a shaker. Just saying. And then cut that little frame out to be able to kind of, I would say, kind of show where differentiate between your card and the shaker. So that would be kind of cool too. So I may do that. Not sure if we can get the kit over there. I would say, okay, you're set in Scotland. I think you probably would use the UK site, and they may be able to do that. From my understanding, most everything should be able to get to you. So I would say go to the Spellbinders website. Let me get you the link. There should be a link down in the description too. And every time I go onto the Spellbinders website, there's a link up at the top that says UK. If you use one of my links to get to the website, then of course I get credit for it if you decide to purchase anything. It is an affiliate link. It's like a small percentage back, but it does help to keep me stocked on some of the stuff that I have to get on an ongoing basis. But I'm pretty sure the UK one, you can do that. Let me take a look at the UK store, and I'm going to move that screen over to here. That way I can do a share the screen with you. So here's the Spellbinders UK website. And I was just confirming that my mic was still on. Okay. And then under clubs, we've got Card Making Kit Club. Card Kit of the Month. So it looks like it is available on there on the UK website. So in Scotland, if you're able to get things from the UK website, I'm thinking that they should deliver to you. I would say go ahead and give it a try. I mean, you're nothing lost by just clicking a couple of things. And up at the top it says, it seems you're in the United States. You want to go to the US store. But it's nice that I'm actually able to see it. And the UK store is something that is pretty new. It's only been around for, what, a couple of months, I think? Okay, so, yeah, I haven't decided what I want to play with first. So how about this? I want you guys' opinions. And you've seen kind of what I've got out so far. Are you guys wanting first? Because I want to make at least a couple of cards tonight. Do we want to do stamps? Do we want to do dies? Do we want to do ephemera? What is your opinion? What do you want to go first? And then, of course, we've got all these pretty pattern papers. And I kind of need to pull some of this stuff out, but I know that, yeah, there's a lot in there. I mean, there's even a little fox in there. I think that is super cute. Of course, I'm kind of drawn to foxes because my mother-in-law, place in Austin, she's always talking about, they have it kind of as a conservation area, their property there. So they've got cameras for all of the animals and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's really cool. She loves foxes, and there's a little fox that she always tries to watch and is waiting for it to come back. Okay, so Cordelia and Dawn both said ephemera, and then Louise says stamps. Louise it's almost 11 o'clock her time, so I'm thinking maybe I should do that first and maybe do something with the ephemera immediately afterwards, because yeah, I want to play with the ephemera, but I also want her to be able to watch before she has to go to sleep. I mean, as late as it is where she is, I would be getting ready for bed. You guys know me. I have trouble just being able to watch Elizabeth's lives at times because that's right in the middle of dinner. And now with the time change, it's entirely in dinner. So last night I didn't get a chance to watch the video with her and Crystal. Instead, I wound up watching it today. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, and there aren't any dies to cut out these guys. That's fine though. I am just thinking a little bit. I think I want to do the camper. I have not taken any of these things off. I'm a night owl. I've no rush. I've been sleeping on and off all day, feeling poorly. Oh, you poor thing. And Cordelia said Louise is a new guest, so she should get her choice. Cordelia is super awesome. Did you guys realize that? She is absolutely super awesome. I'm looking for that comment. Yes. Here's the thing. On Saturday at the end, we had been on for like 4 hours. I had put together 4 cards during our live stream that we were raising money for Children's Hospital here in Orlando. There is a link down below for Extra Life if you'd like to make a donation for the Children's Hospital. I'm still going to keep that up. But at the end, there were 2 people left. And I think Cordelia was the one that said, why don't we just let Debbie play a game instead of making another card? And it's basically where I said, anybody who donated at least, I think it was at least $10 would get to tell me what the next project was. And then nearing the end, when I wasn't done with I wasn't done with the last card yet. I had 2 people that wound up popping up as being next. Okay, Cordelia says, yeah, but sometimes I'm not as funny as I think I am. Honey, that's about all of us. Okay, I think I'm gonna cut it. I'm going to do a quick stamp and color of a couple of things, and then we can cut those out. And I like that moon. Okay. I will do the moon also, but then I think what I'm also going to do is maybe do this on some dark paper and use those little stars and kind of stamp and emboss with those. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. I may change my mind. You guys know me. Okay. Yes, and this is my regular desk, so I have my keyboard here too. And what I need now is my Misty. Well, Donna, she did ask for it. Oh, Donna says, I wasn't so nice. I made her do a shaker card. I usually don't have a problem with shaker cards. But that was a kind of shaker that I've only used like a couple of times. So yeah, I was struggling with the Brutus Monroe shaker pouches. I mean, I usually use like acetate. And I thought, oh, let me show them something that would probably be easier and they don't have to worry about getting everything lined up. And yeah, I wound up struggling with just trying to get everything on my paper right. But that's my own fault. Okay, I have to take this down because you cannot see the little camper. Okay, so we've got a camper, we've got a tent, and we have our little moon, and I'm just going to stamp them out, color them, and then cut them out, which means fussy cutting. Okay. And I'm not going to do any kind of fancy coloring. Well, I say that every time, and I don't think what I'm doing is fancy, I'll be honest. But I always try to do a little bit of the shadows. Okay, and right now I can... Here's something that's kind of cool. I've got the side-by-side thing set up. I can see the difference between my two cameras. My face cam, my face looks normal color. My hands look kind of blue. Which means that the camera settings for this one are not quite right. I also did some kind of weird nails. I don't know if they look right or not, but yeah. It is what it is. Let me see if I can get this not quite so blue. And get my skin to kind of sort of match. Okay, that I think is better. Okay. What do you think? Fancy pants. Now, this is where I have never done this before. I tried using a sponge and some glitter over the red, and I think it looks okay. I have Christmassy nails now. Because I don't plan on having to redo the whole polygel thing until after Christmas. Because it takes me a while. Wow, I didn't realize the lines were so fine. I don't know if you guys can see that. But all of the images there, the line for the stamping is a really, really thin line. So it's like, this is like a double line around the top of our camper. So they put a lot of definition into these. Even though they're simple shapes, they did them with fine lines. Okay, I'm going to do it this way and see if you guys can see it better there. You see how they've got the really fine lines there? My C920 does not like to zoom. For whatever reason, it is a pain in the butt. Okay. But of course, before you put your stamps away, you should clean them, because otherwise you will do what I do and forget. And then you wind up with the ink all over everything else that they touch. So I'm just using a baby wipe for this. There's lots of ways you can do that. I've got chamois, I've got microfiber cloths. I think what I wind up doing is just going to whatever I just happen to have at my desk. Yes, it is just the cutest little camper. I haven't decided if it's as cute as the as the die cut one that we had a couple of months ago, though. You guys will have to tell me, because we had a lot of fun with that, and I had ideas for that. Oh no, I'm sorry, it was the food truck. I didn't get the. I think there was a camper also, but I got the food truck. Okay. And I don't think I'm going to do the watercoloring because that's going to warp my paper, and so it was an idea that I am now rejecting. And so let's start with the moon, and we will go with CT1. These are all Spectrum Noir markers because that is what I have. And I'm moving these around so I don't knock over my water. That would not be fun. I have done that before. Like I said, I'm just going to do some easy coloring. The Gina K, this is what I'm using to stamp it, is waterproof. It works with alcohol markers, color pencils, and watercolors. So it works with all of the things that we typically use to stamp and color with, right? Okay, so that's kind of a bright yellow. And then for the tent, should I go brown or should I go green? I was thinking brown to begin with, and now I'm thinking green. That's not a good green. The DG green are kind of, at least I will be one. Okay, so now I have to look back. Okay, so Dawn apparently had some problems with the house. So she had, oh yeah, I remember you had furnace issues that you said you fixed. That was as of Saturday. I have a feeling that wherever I put this, unless I put it on a really dark background, which is kind of the plan, we're not going to be able to see the ties for this for this tent. Because it's got, the lines are so small that there's no way I would be able to fussy cut around those. Or I have to cut them off. Okay, so this one is that darker green. Let me get the flap there. And then for the inside, maybe this one would work. This is another green. Yeah, this one I think will work good for the inside, so you can see that it's lit inside because somebody is actually staying in the tent. And I just realized that that is a flap where they've got the window actually shut. I need to go back in with my other green, my darker green. You're going to have a salad later. That's not dinner. Cordelia's having chips and dip. Okay, guys, that means it's a party. Party time. Okay. So we've got this little green tent. So you can see a little bit of light coming from the inside. And then what color do we want to do our caravan? What color does this camper need to be? I think I'm gonna go ahead and start off with some yellow in the window so that we've got some light going on in there. Thankful for the heat since it's going to be in the 20s tonight. Yeah, not here. What's the temperature outside, honey?
69.
So it's 69 degrees right now. So we've got green, blue, baby blue, and purple. So I think I'm going to go with blue. Actually, I want to go with blue mostly because it's Louise who said it. And I think I'm going to go with... Which blue do I want to go with? True blue, ice blue. I think I want to do my ice, either my IB or my AB. So I've got a couple of different ones. And yes, I'm reaching in front because I've got my Spectre Noir little holders are lined up all right there. It's 76 in Georgia right now with Cordelia. And this is kind of what I do when I'm doing anything with my markers. I do a little swatch off to the side to see if it's the color I want to go with. So that's an AB. That's the lightest AB color. And then this one is the IB, which is ice blue. And they're very, very similar. Okay, so I think I could do, well, I'm thinking I'm going to need to do the whole thing one color. Because I was thinking use part for one and part for the other, but they're so similar, I doubt that there's going to be a big enough difference to be able to tell. So I'll go with the IB, I think. I'm starting off with the IB3, so I can put some kind of shadowing around the edges. And I might come in with one of my true blues also. Kind of went for those. Maureen says 73 in Brandon. She's in Florida too. So yeah, today we had to go outside and try to finish standing up a couple of palm trees. They were coconut trees. And not like the coconuts with the big coconuts on there, but that's what these are called. And I'm like, but I got stuff to do. At the time, it's like I was just trying to redo my nails because all of them kind of popped off yesterday. Anyway, Todd was saying that the reason that we were going to need to do that is because, you know what? We got another hurricane coming. Yeah, hurricane season is supposed to be over at the beginning of November, like last week. They've changed. It used to be. I know that. Hush. So we look on the website and they've apparently changed it because it used to be November 1st. Now it is November 30th. So now we have got hurricane possibilities later in the year, which I don't like that. Whoever controls the weather needs to fix it. Okay, I'm going to go over the whole thing, and then I'm going to add some darker blue to kind of do for the door and the accents on our little caravan here. And I am going to need to, since I'm going to be fussy cutting this out, depending on what color I do the background, I'm going to just color around that hub. That's what I'll do. And if you ever get any kind of streakiness in your colors, just put extra color down, and that takes care of it. It's just like when you're doing your ink blending. Streaky ink blending, add more color, and it takes care of it. It blends it all out, makes it look wonderful. Okay. I do want a little bit more of... Okay, that says IB. This is IB3. Okay, so this is my darker one. I'm like losing my mind over here again. Alexa says it will be 70. So Cordelia is going to be cold. Louise is used to Celsius. And so it's 9 degrees there. Let me ask my engineer husband, what temperature is that in Fahrenheit? And see if he decides to just ignore me. Because I don't know how to calculate it. I have never really needed to worry about it. I mean, I've only been to Europe like a couple of times.
48.
Okay, so 9 degrees Celsius is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is still cold. Okay, so that is looking pretty cool. Do need to blend out the lines on this end. And then we're going to do a little bit of shadow under the window. And I'm going to color this in a little bit darker down at the bottom. Then I think I am going to come in with one of my true blues. And I have no idea how, number one, how dark they are, or number two, how much ink's in them. That would probably look kind of cool over this teal. And yes, like normal, this is seat in my pants, so I am just playing, and I have no clue what I'm going to make, and all the things. Unlike that, that peekaboo card that I did for the hop yesterday, I do have to share a confession, though. I watched part of Amanda and Mary Gunn on Craft Roulette this week, but I wound up only watching part of it because, again, this is during dinner and I didn't have the sound on. But what caught my ear was that it was a peekaboo. So I decided, okay, I'll make a peekaboo. And I didn't look at any of the other requirements. So I had a card done. I did everything, and then as I was going to go ahead, I mean, I had everything edited, I had the whole thing done. You guys know, if you watch that video, I was fighting with it, and I edited out probably 45 minutes to an hour at least out of that long video. And yeah, I didn't include Coco. Coco was one of the parameters, and I completely missed it. Other than that, it would have worked. I think there was one other parameter that was kind of iffy, but yeah, it didn't work. Okay, still need to do something with the curtains, and I think I'm going to go with, why don't we do some red curtains? I'm going to do some dark burgundy curtains. Doesn't match anything else on here, but it adds an extra pop of color. And they're not going to decorate the inside of their camper based on what the outside looks like, right? I mean, they might, but they probably aren't going to leave that as a requirement. And I think I got out of the lines a little bit there, but that's okay. Do you want to come in? Let's see, I did TB3. TB5 is going to be way too dark. Let's see what TB4 looks like. And this one is dry, so I don't think I can really do the door with that. We will give this one a shot. Okay, I'm going to do the accent, this darker accent with this darker blue, and then I'm going to do the door with a lighter blue. And then I get to have all the fun of fussy cutting this out. And just confirming. Oh, that's IB. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted my TB3, I think. And this one also needs some more ink. See if I can get enough to come out the nib to get those edges. Okay, so that I think is going to work. Cordelia says she struggled with an idea for the peekaboo card. Well, as soon as they said peekaboo, I remembered videos that I had seen from Jennifer McGuire. So yes, that was a Jennifer McGuire one. And what I did the first time around was I decided I was going to make the holes bigger. So I used, there are some of the Hero Arts nested dies. So I just used one of those to do the circles. And then, of course, after I was trying to put everything together, the one in the back, the one in the front, the one that shows through, regardless, when you've got the card closed, the one that shows through in the front, that one was fine. But then when I tried to put the other one in that would show when you open it, it was the wrong size to be able to use it and attach it to the flap and then it be able to close all the way. And then when you open it, it just was one that it just did not look right. It wound up showing parts of the other. So like when you had the card closed, when you had the card closed, I think part of the other image showed, or vice versa. Anyway, when I got to that point and it did that, I got irritated. So, yeah. What's worse is I had already started over once. While I was watching her video, I decided, okay, I'm going to test this out before I go forward. And I don't always do that just because it takes longer, and I usually don't have any kind of problem with the design. I'm just thinking I must have positioned my die wrong because I think you actually could use that larger one, but I'm just not 100% sure. Anyway, I had already started cutting everything out. I was about to start stamping and coloring and then decided, I really need to go ahead and record this. So I tried to start recording, explaining what I was doing, and I couldn't do it. It's like I was stumbling over my words. I already have trouble with my words. But I was stumbling over my words and decided, I really can't. I got to recut this and start the video over, and then explain as I'm doing it. Cordelia is saying, did I send you a peekaboo card last year? I'm not sure, hon. I think I'm starting to get a little bit like my husband, because Todd's one that he sees my cards so much, it's like it's another card. I can't remember all of the cards that I've seen. It's like until I look at it, I can't remember what all I've got. So when I'm going through my stash, it's like, I remember this one. I remember I got this one from so-and-so. And same thing for when I made cards. I remember the situation. Like there's been times when I was putting some together with some stickers and things, you know, some of those acrylic stickers. And I remember when I did that, sitting on the couch and I was putting together some cards. You remember one, but can't remember who I sent it to. I've decided that I'm going to make another. I'm going to make a few more of those because I want to practice some of these are some interactive card designs that aren't that difficult. It's not rocket surgery, so they're not hard to figure out, and they really don't require anything extra. It's like creating a pop-up card just from paper and your scissors. I've done some of those before, but I don't practice them enough, probably because when I'm busy trying to get my projects done, because I love all the things. I love playing with all the stuff. But when I'm doing that, I wind up running out of time to do some of those more difficult ones, right? Or the ones that require a little bit more thought. So Louise is wanting to know where everybody is from. So I will start with me. I live in Central Florida. I'm originally from Alabama and moved down here in 91 with my first husband. And one reason why I did that is because it was too cold in Alabama. Okay, let me explain. I used to be a bank teller. At that point in time in my life, I was a bank teller and I worked in the drive-thru, and it would be gloomy and gray from October to March. And it drove me bananas. I could not handle that. I mean, I didn't know there was a difference until I came to Florida for a first visit. And then it's kind of where you go somewhere the first time, it's like, I don't ever want to leave. And it had nothing to do with the fact that we were on vacation. It was just, I love it here. I mean, I've never wanted to move back up there. Okay, and then we've got Ms. Cordelia. Cordelia lives in Georgia and says that I'm in Florida. Thank you so much, Ms. Cordelia. And we've got Ms. Donna Nipper, who is in Illinois. Maureen lives down here near me, which we have never met in person. We're going to have to do that at some point. But she lives down here in Florida, and she is originally from New York. And I like the way Gloria said this. I'm from Michigan, originally from Michigan. And we'd love for you to get to know all of us a little more, too. I mean, we are here. We do hang out on this channel on Tuesday nights. On Monday nights, we're on Elizabeth Costa Rogers' channel. Later on tonight, Dawn, I've already got us set up for the redirect, so we're going to be going over and hanging out on your channel at 7 o'clock, which means I need to get busy. But yeah, we're going to be hanging out over there. And then, of course, I've got a Discord, which is how Donna wound up winning my class. Hello, Miss Mary Landers. Welcome, honey. So happy to see you here. We are all getting to know Miss Louise McCulloch. She says, oh, that's just like Scotland, wet and cold. Yeah, we went to Ireland on one of our last trips before. I think I wound up getting sick like right after that, if I'm not mistaken. But we went to Ireland and it was gorgeous. It was in summer here. It was like in August or something, and yeah, I mean, we were like going down these back roads, and there were these properties for sale, and I'm thinking, we can move here. That's nice. And then I would remember, oh yeah, it doesn't get dark here in the summer until like 10 o'clock, and everybody is really, really pale because they don't have enough sun, and I need sun. Even if I'm staying inside all the time, I still need my sun. I love the warmer weather. I do not like cold. So that was what I had to keep reminding myself, it gets cold there. If it gets cold there, I can't really do it. Okay, I am not going to fussy cut around this little piece here. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to try to color it to match whatever background paper we do, because that is tiny. Okay. That is tiny. See if I get a little focus. This is something I need to check. Sorry, it just reminded me, because I was thinking that it had a focus and it doesn't. So this, I think my husband was correct. It's basically the focus is about where it expects you to be because it does not want to focus in on that. So I don't think it has an autofocus, but that actually isn't that bad. You can still do that little bumper thingy. So I'm going to need to color around that in another color. Oh, I still have nail stuff on my desk. Okay, I'm going to do the moon. The moon isn't going to take too much to do. Okay, I missed where Dawn says that she is in Maine, and I keep telling her she needs to send me some Maine lobsters, and she hadn't done it yet. Now, Dawn is super sweet, and she does have a live stream happening at 7 o'clock tonight. We're going to do the redirect, which, if you are familiar with Twitch, you've probably seen different streamers over there that when they get done with their live stream, they raid somebody else's channel. So they go in and say, okay, who else is going live today? We're going to go ahead and raid them. So basically it's where nothing on your end, but the host, the person who is doing the live stream, is able to kind of push you, everybody that's in the chat or everybody who's watching that live stream, over into another person's live stream, so you show up in their chat and give them all that love. So we think that that is super fun. It's something new that YouTube has just recently added, and I like playing with the tech things. So Mary Landers is apparently lurking from West Virginia. Welcome, welcome. Maureen says she loves Ireland. It's gorgeous. And I have not gotten to go to Scotland yet. There's a lot of places I haven't gone, and I had never gone anywhere outside the United States until I met Todd in 2006. Our first vacation that we went on together, I think the first thing we went to California like that following winter, but then the next summer we went to Italy. It's like, that's awesome. So yeah, I've gotten to go to a few places, but a few years back, I got sick, and we really haven't traveled at all since then. We're going to be going to Austin, focusing on the moon here. But yeah, we're going to be going to Austin in a few weeks to hang out with his parents. And I have a lot of work to try to get done before then because we're going to be gone for over a week. Yeah, Scotland's on my bucket list too, but I don't know if we're gonna be going because he's already been. It's one of those things. So it really depends on if the family wants to go back. Everyone is super nice, so I'll join you here as much as possible. Awesome, thank you so much. I do try to do some other things during the day. Most days, especially with as much design team stuff that I've been working on, I usually have a video or something up. But the more that you get to know us, the more you're going to see some of the other channels. I'm going to try to do, I don't know if it'll work because I don't think she's in right now, but I'm going to try to do a shout out to Elizabeth real quick. That way, and this is really primarily for Louise, so that she can see a little bit about Elizabeth's channel and maybe follow her too. I mean, subscribing is free, so might as well give that one a shot too. So, and this is something I just set up about a week ago, so it may or may not work. I think it only pulls it if you're actually in it, and I have to do it from the YouTube video I forgot from last week. And it may only pull the folks. Yep, it's trying to just pull. I'll just go ahead and pull up her channel real quick so I can just put a shout out in there. Because you guys are going to be going over to Dawn's channel anyway in a little bit. So she'll be able to find you, right? Copy and paste. Donna is afraid to leave the country. What? Okay, I'm going to have to go back into the chat, look up the chat in a little bit, but I have to first try to at least start on a card. Do I want to use any of these? Those are card bases, but that's actually a decent color. I don't have to put layers. So here's a dark blue card base, and then I could do some stamping with the little stars and some white embossing. And do the trees like in some black. But that wouldn't give me the border that I usually go with. This would be a little bit different. Okay, Donna, I don't know what you mean by it being scary out there. I mean, I think it's basically, it depends on where you go and who you go with. Everywhere you go can be scary. Could just do these in unicorn white instead of embossing. So I could do that. I think I am going to emboss the sentiment though. So I've got my little tray, and don't always do it, but I'm going to do with the white embossing powder and anti-static powder tool. Okay. And my Misty is around here somewhere. Did I put it away? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yes. All it takes is 2 seconds and I will lose. Went to vote after work, then dinner now. I try to interact more during Dawn's live. No worries, honey. That is perfectly fine. I'm happy that you come by to hang out with me. You guys know that I love you, and I love that you come by to hang out. So that is totally fine. Okay. So I'm going to be using a card base, and I don't ever do this. You guys know I never do this. I'm going to have to put it in this way, though, so that I can stamp on it. And where did I put my magnets? Because I definitely need my magnets for this. It's bad as I don't know where. I've got like 2 more magnets around here somewhere that I don't know where they are. Okay, so we're going to go with these. Okay. So I'm going to probably do the stars a couple of different times. So let's see, what do we want this to look like? Okay, seat in my pants crafting means I lose stuff, right? I definitely lose stuff. Todd said, like my mind, and he is at least partially correct. No, I lost my little camper I just colored. Am I going to have to rewind the video to find my camper? There it is. Okay, so I found my camper and my moon in. There we go. Here's my bits. I needed my bits. I met my husband in Majorca. It was a holiday romance that never ended. Oh, that is so sweet. And back to Mary Landers. Yes, I voted too today. We voted, and then we went and refilled the containers with gas for the generator, just in case it decides it's gonna be crazy. And yeah, there's another storm coming. Okay, so I think I'm going to put this guy down here, and we can put the tent around here somewhere too. And then, now I need to decide on what kind of sentiment I want to put on there. Because this could be lots of different types of cards, right? So we've got here's to another year of adventures, which could be anniversary, it could be birthday, anything that happens like once a year. Donna says she voted last week. Maureen voted weeks ago, and Cordelia voted. So everybody in the chat voted. Yay! Okay, so there's also one that says, you make me a happy camper. I think that's kind of cool. Wander often, wonder always, life's a journey, and just roll with it. Okay, so I think I'm going to do, you make me a happy camper, and then I may put roll with it on the inside, because I think that's funny. And it may turn out that I only do 1 card tonight, because it's already almost 6:30. That's what happens when I color sometimes. It takes me longer, especially when I'm trying to talk at the same time. But it really depends, the timing, it really depends on how we do with the other pieces. So the first thing I want to do is get my sentiment in there and try to get my sentiment straight. So I'll use one of my creative corners. I don't know why I do this. I always wind up measuring. Hello, Miss Sharon. Just finished mixing my homemade bread. Now I'm off to vote. Awesome. Well, hopefully I'll still be here when you get back because we would love to have you hang out with us. So I need to take the top one off because otherwise I will not line up my happy camper. And this one's going to be a little bit more difficult to do because it's got that raised H, but that also means I can adjust and be able to see it a little bit better. So that to me looks straight. And then I'll put in you make me, or you make me a, and line that up right about there. I think that'll be cool. And then let's pick it up and get my bits out the way because they don't need to be there anymore. And I would just lose them. And I just realized that I don't have I left my transparency on my, yes, I want homemade bread too. I want homemade banana bread is what I want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this back in on the sticky grid that I need to replace because it's not quite as sticky anymore. Okay, so that's right about there. Put down a generous amount of anti-static powder, which to me smells like baby powder, and that's probably what it is, but I've never really researched to find out. And then I'm going to stamp it in some white ink. Now, you don't have to go with white, but what I tend to do if I'm going to do any kind of embossing is I go with, if I'm going to emboss in gold, I'm probably going to use gold ink under it, just in case it doesn't emboss all the way. So I usually do a decent job on my embossing, but I don't want to have to go back and redo everything if it doesn't work right. Okay. So that's still pretty light. I'm going to put a couple layers down of that ink. I'm probably going to do one more. That's probably enough. I'm going to do one more. And make sure I've got my heat gun. And go ahead and start heating it up a little bit. And of course it's unplugged again. That's what happens when you decide to move a power strip underneath your desk. Okay, so everybody is wanting bread now, homemade bread, which we haven't done that in a while. We need to do that again. Todd? We used to do it. We haven't made any bread in a while. I know, but I don't have any milk. I need to get milk. No, what he does instead is he has me making brownies pretty much every like 3 days, 3-4 days. So we'll have one brownie. It's like I cut it into about like 9 pieces, and then we have one a day until the last day, and then we have 1.5. And then okay, let me take this out and put some embossing powder on it while it's wet. Anyway, when we run out, I gotta make more. And usually it's where we remember when it is like 8:30. I mean, that was with us going to bed at 11. Now, with the time change, we're not honoring the time change. We are not honoring the time change, so that means we're going to bed at 10 instead of 11 and having dinner like in 30 minutes when nothing's been fixed yet. I'm going to have dinner when I get done playing. Hello, banana bread is after voting. I've been making homemade bread since I retired as a daycare director, 25 years at that. Happy card making. Awesome. I do agree with Maureen, though. Maureen says that Dawn needs to be sending me some of that banana bread when she sends me that lobster. Actually, I'd rather have crab claws than lobster. Okay, and since my heat gun isn't really all that hot, it's taking a little longer to emboss, so I'm going front to back. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Probably not, because I had it off screen. I'm going to try not to warp my panel too much. Okay. So that looks pretty cool. Looks like I do have a little bit of extra embossing there, but that's okay. And now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp a bunch of those stars after I clean this off, because I don't necessarily need my Misty for this bit. But I'm going to stamp a bunch of the stars, and I think I am going to emboss those too, because I think that's cute. And I'm really thinking I'm only going to get one card done tonight, and then I'll just have to make a couple more for the rest of that project. So each month with my with the card kit, because there's so much stuff in it, they just ask that we make at least 3 cards. And with the ephemera, that is no big deal. You can definitely make a lot of cards with the ephemera. So this is one of those little stamps that doesn't necessarily get a lot of love. So I've got my sentiments, put those back in there, and then I'm going to grab out this little guy, which is basically just 4 little stars. And I do have plenty of anti-static powder all over the top. And I just have to remember when I stamp to let them rest, because I don't really know how much of the embossing powder is actually going to be caught on there. I'm probably putting too many stars, but that's okay. Okay, that should be enough. And I'm going to pour a bunch of embossing powder over all of that, and hopefully it will stick to all of that ink. And you can see my embossing powder kind of blowing around because the AC is on. For you guys that are cold. Oh, are you gonna get me some Boston clam chowder? So that is super sweet. She says that when I come up to Maine, she'll treat me to some good seafood. Okay. Let's see how this does. You guys probably see about how often I emboss. It's not that often. I do more of it at Christmas, I think, than I do any other time of the year, because it's just so pretty. New England clam chowder. I'm just thinking clam chowder. I haven't had any clam chowder in a while. I tend not to buy a lot of food that I'm going to eat by myself. And Todd doesn't do any kind of soups at all. So it's like, okay, no point in buying it if I'm going to have to eat it by myself.
What about chocolate?
You eat chocolate too. He said, what about chocolate? And yeah, he eats the chocolate too. Yeah, he's the one that says, where's my brownies? Okay. So that looks pretty cool. Just gonna take a fresh honey. Cordelia loves soup. Okay, so I'm just brushing off all that extra powder that was on there. So I think that looks kind of interesting. It really looks really random with all the stars, but you know what, that is okay. Now I have to, again, find my camper. There we go. So we've got our camper. I do need to put my moon up in the sky. And I'm going to glue, I think I'm going to glue that one down straight. once I find my tweezers. I've also been trying to rearrange and clean up a little bit because I get stressed when I have too much of a big mess. Okay, so we've got our little moon here. And we'll put him right up here in the sky. There we go. Okay. And then because I did mention that I needed to color around those pieces, I need to see what color blue do I have that is probably about a match. And I'm thinking that this blue that I used around the edge of my... Welcome, welcome, Jenny. Little late from the Netherlands. What time is it there, hon? Let me see what color this one is and see if it's... I think that's going to be close enough. So I'm going to go around the tire here, the wheel well of the tire, and around this part up here so that it looks more... It's not going to look like I missed parts of it when I was cutting. It's going to be mostly matching my background. Okay, I think this is a little bit of a brighter blue. This actually makes me think TARDIS blue. Loved it. Goodness, woman! So it is after midnight and you're coming on to watch. Oh my goodness. I hope that you don't have to get up early in the morning. I can't do that. I'm getting old. I can't do that. Okay, so that should work. And then for the little pieces that I didn't color earlier, I'm going to just grab a gray. And let's see. It's kind of a medium gray to do the hitch. Not really, not that you're really going to see it much, but it's kind of, I don't want the white part to kind of stand out there. Okay, so now we can do our little camper here, and I think I'm going to put my little tent a little bit further back. And just adding everything down with a little bit of liquid glue. And is it crooked? I think I actually got it pretty straight, which is good. And then I'm going to take the same gray, I think, and just kind of ground these a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to take out something that I haven't done in a while. I'm going to take out some little hearts. And I think I want to just add just a couple of them. And I do like these little hearts. I mean, I've had this little set from Target. This was from the Target dollar spot, I think is what they were calling it. I don't think anything over there is actually $1 anymore, but... And I've had this table scatter for, I think I'm going on 2 years with it. And that is going to finish up that card. And I had no idea what I was going to make when I got started. But I think that that turned out pretty cute. And then on the inside, I'm going to add a piece of white cardstock. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and trim that down and do that real quick. So that there's a place to write on the inside. I think I mentioned that I wanted to put a sentiment on the inside too. So let me see. Which sentiment did I go? Oh, just roll with it. That's right. So let's trim this down. We're going to trim it down smaller than A2 size. So that it'll have a nice little border all the way around when we put it in there. So I'm going to go with 3 3/4 by 5. And that should give about 1/4 inch all the way around. Let me see, did I do that at 5 or did I do that at 5 and a... Yes, I did it at 5. Okay, and I think I want to put... I think I'm going to stamp a little bit more on the inside. I don't do a lot of stamping these days. I do so much die cutting that I forget about the stamping. So we're going to go with the sentiment that I've already lost, because I took it off the thing. There we go. We're going to go with just roll with it. I think I want it at the bottom. And I think I want to have the little camper hanging off the side, so I need to move this over a little bit. Okay, I'll line it up with that grid mark. I like using the grid marks. That way, not only have I got a somewhat sticky, it needs resticking, it needs cleaning, I need to replace it is what I need to do. But I'm using a sticky mat. This is actually like a Cricut mat. It's a Nakapa that I got off of Amazon. So I'm going to have this guy just kind of hanging off the edge. And then this is going to say just roll with it. And I think I'll put a tree on there because I didn't use the trees at all. So let's do a tree. So it's going to be kind of a little scene on the inside. Kind of like you sent this note to somebody saying that you make me a happy camper, and they're saying like, yeah, right. And you're saying, just roll with it. Am I seeing the bad reviews on the Tim Holtz paper cutter I was going to buy? Okay, so what I've got is a Fiskars guillotine. I've actually got 2 paper trimmers. This one is actually my second one from Fiskars. My first one from Fiskars, I messed up, and I will show you what it was that I did in just a sec. And I do love the company, and I'll explain to you that in a second too. So I need some black ink again, so we're going with the Gina K. This is one that I think I would give my father-in-law. I'm sorry, it is too cute. Ah, just roll with it. I love that. Okay. And it only took 1 stamping. That is too cool. Moving this out of the way so that I can bring back out my Fiskars trimmer so I can show you what it was on this one. So I've been using this one. I've been card making and paper crafting since 2017. So it's actually been almost 8 years. Is that right? No, almost 6 years. Anyway. Math is hard. Words are hard. All of it's hard. So this piece here, I use this all the time. This is the thumb guard, right? Well, what I decided to do was with some of the things is where my paper was too big. This is a 9-inch. So all of these grids, if you count them, it's going to be 9 inches from here to here. And sometimes you've got 12-inch paper, and I was trying to use this to cut it. So you can remove these. There is a way to kind of finagle it so you can remove it. And right here, you can see where it's kind of got a little clip in there. It is a piece of plastic. And what I did is at one of the points when I was taking this off, I broke it. I broke the little piece. Nothing wrong with the trimmer at all. The trimmer works fine, no problem. I contacted them to see, could I get a replacement piece? They sent me a new trimmer for free. Yeah. Fiskars has got a lifetime warranty on all of their products. So Todd uses some of the Fiskars like trimmers or clippers, or what I would think of as almost like scissors, like something similar to this. Like I absolutely love these scissors. He would use something like this, and if he breaks it, they will replace it for free. Doesn't matter how long you've had it. You don't have to tell them when you got it. You know, none of that stuff. But I really like this. That's one of the things I love about that company, is that I don't have to worry about if I break it. They will replace it. And I did not expect them to send me an entire new trimmer when I asked them for a part. I just asked them, where can I get it? That's all I asked, because I knew it was my fault. I broke the thing. Instead, they just mailed me a new one. And I'm not affiliated with them anyway. I mean, I think the stuff that I get from them, I'm able to get off of Amazon, and I do have affiliate links for Amazon. However, I can't use my affiliate links for Amazon for myself. They've got some weird rules having to do with friends and family, and I have not figured out how it works. So I have probably made like $20 or something off of Amazon in the last like 3-4 years. So yeah, it's not where I'm not saying that I love the product because they pay me. It's because they actually do replace it. If you mess something up, they will replace the entire thing. And I think that is super awesome. So for this inside panel, what I'm going to do is I put adhesive on the back. I'm just using my tape runner. I need to make sure I'm looking at the front and back of the card and it's in the right order. I don't know what I did there, but it looks like I put a fingerprint or something on there when I didn't have any ink on my hands. I don't know. So I'm going to place this inked side towards the front of the card and center that where I want it. And then we're just going to close the back, if I can pick it up. And now it should be, unless I did it wrong, should be perfectly placed in there. So this is so cute. I love that. That Just Roll With It is so cool. So there is that lovely card. It is 6:48 p.m. We are getting close to the 7 o'clock mark. And I usually on most of my videos, on most of my lives, what do? I give away the card. You guys don't want this card though, do you? No? I didn't think so. If you guys do want the card, be sure to put something in the chat, say hashtag me. Do that. Go ahead and type into the chat hashtag me, and we will do a drawing for this card, and I will get that mailed out to you in the next couple of days. Well, Donna, if you do, you have to type in hashtag me. I know, I've been changing it up a little bit because, I saw that somebody did something, because I have had a couple of people that have won and said, instead of sending it to me, send it to so-and-so. It's like, okay, but I'm assuming that you guys all wanted to win it. So if you didn't want to win it, I need you to be able to opt out. Mary Landers says yes, that she wants it too. Awesome. Now, most of you guys have gotten at least one card from me. I don't know that I forgot. Mary Landers, I got a card from you. And did I share that already? I'm trying to remember if I shared that. I know you sent me a card. And I've got another card from somebody else here too. I've got one, I think, from Elizabeth, and I haven't, since she's not in the chat. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to look around to see the cards that I just got in that I don't know that I shared them on Tuesday night's live or if it was on Saturday. So I'm going to go ahead and share them again. So anybody else who is in the chat, if you want a chance to win this card, be sure. Oh, you think that I did? I'm going to share it again anyway, because you're awesome. Oh, yes, I think I did. You were the one that did the cool window. She did hers was a peekaboo, but I'm gonna share it again anyway. So give me just a second, and I'm gonna be right back. Anybody who? Okay, so I changed up my Be Right Back screen. I told you I've been changing a couple of things. I mean, I did still have it set up to do that video from Extra Life, and I decided, this isn't an Extra Life marathon, so Now that's a picture I haven't seen in a very long time. Yeah, I know. It was so cool when I found it. But since this is not an Extra Life marathon, I did not want to do that ad for Extra Life like I did on Saturday. But I thought that was really cool too. So if you didn't see my video from yesterday, this is the Peekaboo card that I thought it was going to work for the craft roulette. But when I realized that, you know what, I did not include cocoa, then I couldn't do it. So you open it up and it changes. So what I think happened on the other one is that when I tried to do it, because the window was so long, I actually had to trim off a lot of this and it just didn't fit. So the smaller ones definitely worked, but I also had, the window was like about a 1/4 inch from the edge. So that may have been one of my issues. Okay. That's what my husband just said, Gloria. So, Donna, does that mean your husband's watching me too? Oh my goodness. Okay, one more shout out saying, if you have not already told me that you want to win this card, so this is the one that we just made tonight. If you want a chance to win this card, be sure to type in the chat #me, and I'm going to do a giveaway for that. Let me get that page pulled up real quick. I'm starting to think I need a drawer under my desk for my keyboard, but then my knees wouldn't fit, so. StreamYard giveaway, and then we are going to pull up the share a screen. Okay, so we are doing, that's not the one we're doing this one. And then it's #me. Okay, Gloria says, "Hey, I made that card." So you made one of the Peekaboo cards? Oh no, you're talking about the one that was on top. Okay, let's go ahead and collect comments for everybody who said #me. And that means that there's 6. That means everybody has a very good chance of winning, right? So let's see who is gonna win. It's Miss Maureen Pryor. Congratulations, Maureen. I'm pretty sure, I do have your address. I'm pretty sure I do. Actually, I think I have that one from the Discord thing. I'm just going to double check because I don't need you to send it to me again unless you've moved. And I'm just doing a quick check over there. Da, da, da. Maureen Pryor, and you still live on Robin Lane, correct? As long as that is correct, that is where I'm going to be mailing you that Happy Camper card. I think it's turned out so cute. Okay. No, I haven't moved. Awesomeness. Okay, I want to go this one. I kind of like the split screen. What do you guys think? I mean, I think I've got enough of the screen in, and I've got like a black bar across the top and bottom so you can see most of my desk. I kind of like that. So the cards that we got in, and we will be going over to Dawn's channel in just a few minutes, but this one is from Miss Gloria Wolf. It was for my birthday. Thank you, thank you. To a one-of-a-kind friend, Gloria Wolf, enjoy your day. So that, I think, was very lovely. Oh, and having it like this, it makes it so good to be able to actually share a good photo of it. I think this turned out clearer than this one. Like the colors, you can see the colors so much better. And I love that embossing folder in the back, too. That is so cool. The honeycomb. Okay, and then this birthday card is from Miss Barbara Drake. And I think that one is pretty. Birthdays are great because you can have your cake and eat it too. And then Miss Mary Landers, hers was Halloweeny. So Halloweeny. And everybody who's got one of these has been raving about them. I mean, I've seen it on a couple of different lives. Everybody is raving about it. So take a look at that. Oh, and I'm so bad. I just noticed the note on the back. Happy Halloween. Hope your days are filled with sweet treats. So you can see the
Horsing around with crafts.
Hi Dee, welcome honey. We're actually about to finish up, but don't worry, we're going to be heading over to Dawn's channel for another live stream. We're using the redirect when we get done over here. So that I think is totally, I love that. Let's just put it this way. Even if you come in on the tail end, you can still be redirected to another live stream if somebody else is going on. So that's cool. So yeah, she used a spider web. It looks like some that I picked up at Dollar Tree in the past, where it's kind of a mesh tool that's got the spider web in there. And then when you open it up, you see Frank, because Frank was peeking through, so it's a peekaboo. Frank was peeking through that window, and I think that is totally cool. Love it, love it, love it. And then, of course, this is a card that I got from our lovely Miss Cordelia. I don't know if she's trying to say that I'm a witch or what, but yeah. How do I get to the next live? Okay, so Louise, you probably haven't seen this yet. It is a new-ish. It's been around for, I think, a couple of months, I think. What happens is if you already have your YouTube set up to automatically go to the next video. Let's say you're watching someone's video and then they're going to be recommending something. It automatically goes over. If you don't have that, so what you will wind up doing is that when I cancel this one, when I end this live stream, it's going to take you over to hers. What happens is there winds up being a message in the chat that says you're being sent over to so-and-so's live stream. Also winds up with an image like right up over here, kind of like the thumbnails that show up at the end. But it'll have a thumbnail there that's going to say that this is where you're going to, and you can just click it. If it doesn't take you directly, just click that image and you're good to go. And it is now 6:59, so I'm going to go ahead and get that done. So I will see you guys over in, excuse me, I will see you guys over in Dawn's channel. I don't remember what she's doing a live on, but I do know that she's going live. So that is the important part. So I'm going to go ahead and end now. You guys have a wonderful night, and thank you so much for hanging out with me, especially you guys that are new to my channel and that have not come and hung out with me before. So thank you so much. I will be getting this card mailed out soon to Miss Maureen, right? She was the winner, wasn't she? Yes, I'll be getting that out in the mail to you, Miss Maureen. You guys have a wonderful night. I will see you over there in the chat. And then I probably won't be saying much because we're going to have dinner in just a little bit. So anyway, bye guys. Have a good one.